Hello everyone, welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm Mike.
And I'm Sam.
And it's story time. Yay. That's right, we're having a story this month again. It's a 2-day story, and it's a story about, I don't know, the man who could work miracles.
Ooh, miracles.
He can do magic.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't know about this. Do you believe in miracles? Do you believe in magic things happening, maybe because of God helping out in some way?
Yes, I do. I really do. In fact,
Yes.
I actually recently saw on a Facebook advertisement a commercial for a miracle wand.
You bought a magic wand on Facebook?
Yeah, and I'm super excited to test it out. So I was thinking, is there anything that you want right now? Like anything you need or?
I don't know if I need or want anything. I'm a little nervous now. Okay, so you do believe in miracles, clearly. You bought yourself a magic wand. Now,
Yes.
I'm almost afraid to ask this question. Does your magic wand work?
Well, I haven't tried it yet, so I figured you would be the perfect test subject right now.
Yes, I am your test subject. I am your guinea pig.
Yes.
I am your lab rat. Okay, so I'm going to make the first wish, and your magic wand will make it happen, and this will be our miracle.
Yes.
All right, let's see what happens. I'm going to wish for something really unusual and strange to test out your magic miracle wand. I am going to wish for a bunch of yellow fuzzy bananas. Do you think you can come up with that? All right.
I think so. Okay,
here
put
we
out
go.
your hand. Ready?
Yellow fuzzy banana. I expect to see them soon.
Okay, ready?
Do your thing.
Abracadabra, Mike wants some bananas.
Whoa, fuzzy bananas, just like I wanted, a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, so you see, miracles do work.
Miracles do work, and so does your magic wand, and my mind has been blown. Okay, well, we're gonna have to check out our story. I'm gonna have to buy a magic wand, and we'll be back in just a moment. That is incredible.
George Fotheringay did not believe in miracles. While sipping his drink, he argued that it was impossible for the power of will to defy the course of nature. To prove his point to the other patrons of the Long Dragon Bar, he playfully commanded an oil lamp to perform the impossible feat of turning upside down without going out. But to everyone's surprise, including his own, it did just that. Everyone in the bar was certain that Fotheringay had played a trick on them, and they told him to leave. Fotheringay was unable to explain what had happened. When he got home, he experimented with his new power, creating a match from thin air and turning a glass of water pink and then green.
All right, well, here we are with the woman who could work miracles, apparently. At least your magic wand can help you. I'm so amazed. And a story about the man who could work miracles. Is this your husband? This man?
Yeah.
Oh, really? This is about your husband?
No. This story is from way long ago,
We're
unfortunately.
keeping it in the family, all right. But in either case, both you and the man from our story can work miracles. So let's talk about that word, miracle.
Yes, so the word miracle, this is a welcomed or happy surprise that happens, but it happens at something like not really explainable by nature.
It's like magic.
Yeah, so like magic, but a lot of the kind of difference between magic and miracle is that usually miracle has to do something with like divine intervention, which basically means some kind of God or some kind of spiritual extra thing helped you, not just you helping yourself, and not just some kind of illusion or trick, which would be more like magic. And so we have a sentence for the word miracle, and it goes, "A strange man in the park claims to be able to perform miracles. I'm not sure if I would let a strange man try a miracle anywhere near me."
Is the man's name Jesus?
That might be.
If you met Jesus in the park, I might say, oh yeah, you did miracles in the Bible. And of course, yeah, holy people sometimes are well known for performing miracles. But you're right, sometimes scientists would say, this doesn't really happen. But Who knows? Maybe miracles do happen. And in our story, we're going to meet a guy who does miracles. So let's start the story and see what it's all about. Well, we begin with a very nice name. George Fotheringay did not believe in miracles. So he's not the kind of guy who believes in magic. He's like, nah, yeah, kind of like me. But he's got a much better name. So he did not believe in miracles. It says, while sipping his drink, he argued that it was impossible for the power of will to defy the course of nature. So basically, he's chatting with some friends, they're having a drink or something, having a conversation about miracles, and he's kind of saying, just because you want it to happen or you wish for it to happen, it doesn't mean it will, because nature has its own rules. In other words, amazing things like miracles don't happen because they just don't happen in nature. And that's the way the world works.
Yes, and so we continue on and we have, to prove his point to the other patrons of the Long Dragon Bar, he playfully commanded an oil lamp to perform the impossible feat of turning upside down without going out. But, to everyone's surprise, including his own, it did just that.
A miracle.
Yes.
Or a magic trick. Or a very weird oil lamp.
Yes, and so he's sitting there, he's chatting with everybody, and he's like, hey, these kind of miracles, they can't happen. See, let's just give it a shot. I'm going to tell this oil lamp to turn upside down, which normally if an oil lamp turns upside down, then the oil will kind of go over the flame and put it out and all that kind of stuff.
Something bad would happen.
And instead, it did exactly what he asked it to do.
So the oil lamp kind of came to life, flipped over, didn't go out, flipped back. It was just amazing. So as we read, and as you would imagine, everyone in the bar was certain that Fotheringay had played a trick on them, and they told him to leave. So they were thinking, this guy's just trying to trick us. Maybe there's a camera watching us or something. He's having a little joke. He just set up the candle or the lamp to flip over. He's just trying to make us look stupid. So basically they say, oh, get out of here, George, with your crazy stories and your little magic trick lamp. And then Fotheringay, we read, Fotheringay was unable to explain what had happened. So as his friends are getting upset, saying, oh, go home, get out of here, Fotheringay in his mind is like, how did that oil lamp flip over? I just told it what to do and it did. He didn't understand this amazing power he had.
Yes, and so then we continue on and he's still a little confused about this. So when he got home, he experimented with his new power, creating a match from thin air, turning a glass of water pink and then green.
Oh my gosh. So it works.
Yeah.
He's got magic powers not just over oil lamps, but over lots of things. What is going on? And maybe does he now believe in miracles?
Possibly.
I would think he does. We'll find out more after our break.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Tina。这次要读的故事是 The Man Who Could Work Miracles， 制造奇迹的男人。单字 miracle 是一个名词，奇迹、出人意料的事，或者是说神迹。那么 work miracles 或者是 perform miracles 表示创造奇迹。有时候人们在讲奇迹啊、神迹啊，会认为有神的介入。Sam 老师刚刚用到了 divine intervention。其中的 divine D-I-V-I-N-E 是一个形容词，表示神的、神圣的。那么 intervention I-N-T-E-R-V-E-N-T-I-O-N 指的是介入、干预，这是一个名词。老师还有指到 illusion 这个字 illusion I-L-L-U-S-I-O-N 这是一个名词，错觉、幻想。故事一开始写到George Fotheringay 不相信有奇迹，他一边喝着酒，一边争论着意志力是不可能违抗的自然规律的。为了向酒吧的其他顾客证明他的论点，他开玩笑地命令一盏油灯上下翻转，不能熄灭。没想到啊，那盏油灯真的做到了。酒吧里的人都认为 Fotheringay 在戏弄他们，所以叫他离开。Fotheringay 对于这一切无法解释。他回家试验了自己的新能力，凭空生出了一根火柴，还把一杯水从粉红色变成绿色。这边有3个重点，接着我们进入文法时间。
好，我们来看第一个重点是 while 当连接词，它可以指在点点点时，用来引导时间副词子句。当前后子句的主词相同的时候呢，我们可以把 while 引导的这个副词子句它的主词省略，再把动词改成分词，让它形成 while 加上现在分词 VING， 或者是 while 加上过去分词 PP。动词是主动就用 VING， 被动就只要保留 PP。举例来说 ，Some people listen to music while they study。你可以把它简化成 Some people listen to music while studying。有些人在念书时听音乐。第二个重点是句型 it is 或者是 it was 加上形容词 for 名词，再接不定词 to be， 是用来说明做某件事的态度或看法。那么 it 是虚主词，真正的主词是后面那个不定词片语 to be。举例来说 ，He once said it was impossible for the movie to turn a profit, but it turned out to be a blockbuster。他曾说那部电影不可能获利，结果却成了一部卖座巨片。好，那么下一个重点是过去完成式 had 加上过去分词 PP， 这表示说在过去某个时间点之前已经完成的动作或事情，常常会搭配过去简单式来使用，去表达两个动作或是事件发生的先后顺序。较早发生的就是用过去完成式，后发生的是用过去简单式。例如 I had already heard the news before she told me。在她告诉我之前，我就已经听到那个消息了。好，那我们接回到课文中。
The following evening, he found a quiet place where he could practice his miracles. He commanded his walking stick to bloom with beautiful roses. However, instead of saying,
Change back.
he said,
Go back.
and the stick launched itself through the air, hitting the leg of a police officer. After trying to reason with the unhappy officer, Fotheringay said,
Go to Hades. Go now.
and the police officer disappeared. That night in bed, he regretted his impulsive decision and transferred the officer to San Francisco.
Okay, welcome back. So, our main character, George Fotheringay, was the man who didn't believe in miracles, but now he's the man who can do miracles.
Yes.
So maybe he's turning into the man who does believe in miracles, but certainly something strange is going on in George's life. So let's find out what he does with his new powers. It says the following evening, he found a quiet place where he could practice his miracles. This is kind of like when Spider-Man wakes up, right? And he realizes he have new powers and he's in his bedroom like trying out all his amazing superpowers. So he's kind of like, what can I do with this? But he does it in a quiet place to not scare his neighbors. What did he do? Well, he commanded his walking stick to bloom with beautiful roses. Well, that's kind of a cool superpower. He's got a walking stick, as gentlemen, used to use, especially, or as older people might use now. It's just a piece of wood, but he turned it into a beautiful flower bouquet with blooming flowers. When flowers bloom, basically, they open. So it's probably the spring or in the morning, certain times of the year, certain flowers will open, right? We call that the what do you call that? The blossom, I guess?
Yeah, the blossom will
And then when
bloom.
it blooms, it opens. That's sort of when the flower is at its most beautiful. And of course, when bees are visiting it and all that good stuff. So that actually opening of the flower is to bloom. For example, this type of flower usually blooms in early May. That's a geranium. I don't know what you think about flowers.
I was trying to remember when the cherry, my college in America, we had beautiful cherry blossoms, but they only bloomed at a certain time.
It's like March, April, May.
And I know it's somewhere in there, and they bloom for just like a week, and then they're gone, and then it's sad. But anyway, so he's enjoying this newfound miracle power, and he's trying to see what all he can do. So then we go back to the story, and we see what happens next. He says, however, instead of saying change back, he said, go back, and the stick launched itself through the air, hitting the leg of a police officer.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
Well, he's just throwing flowers at the police officer.
Well, there might still be a stick in there.
Oh, that could hurt.
Yeah.
Interesting. So his language was important. Instead of changing back to a walking stick, he said go back and the stick actually went
backwards
through the air and hit a police officer.
Yeah, so this actually could be a little bit of foreshadowing to see like, okay, he needs to be very careful how he talks about making these miracles so that he doesn't actually accidentally launch anything else. So we had this word launch. So launch is a verb, and in this case it's like to be thrown in a certain direction. So we also use it for like rockets. You might launch a rocket, and so the launcher gets kind of sent off into the air. And in our example sentence, we have Tracy, and it says Tracy launched a rock at the birds to try and scare them off, which is not the nicest thing to do. You probably shouldn't launch a rock at something. But maybe they were, I don't know, attacking something else.
Eating her flowers.
Maybe.
There you go, yeah. But it's in this story or in this way, it's basically like fly or throw or travel through the air quickly.
Yes, and so then we go back to our story and we have, after trying to reason with the unhappy officer, because obviously the police officer is not so happy he got hit in the leg, so he's trying...
go launching walking sticks all over the place?
Yeah, and so he's trying to reason with him, be like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. He's trying to calm him down. Fotheringay said, go to Hades. Go now. And the police officer disappeared.
Oh, I guess they got in a fight or an argument. Because go to Hades would be like saying go to hell to someone. It's a very angry thing when you're tired of talking to them and you're like, oh, just go away. So he said, go to Hades, go now. And then, of course, using his magic powers, which he forgot about, the police officer disappeared. Did he really go to Hades? Did he really get sent to hell?
Well, I guess he won't totally know because he's not there, but most likely, yes.
Oh my gosh, he's really got to be careful with what he says from now on. It says, that night in bed, this is George, that night in bed, he regretted his impulsive decision and transferred the officer to San Francisco. Oh, well, that was nice of him. So he's lying in bed feeling, that police officer was just upset. I hit him with my stick, but then I sent him to hell. I feel really bad about that.
Yeah.
So he decided, well, instead of hell, maybe I'll just say, go to San Francisco. And the police officer got transferred from hell, which is hot and horrible, to San Francisco, which is lovely, but a little expensive.
Yeah.
But it's a nice city.
Yeah, I can't imagine what was going through that police officer's head as he gets kind of teleported around everything and just wakes up in San Francisco.
He's just like, whoa, I'm glad I'm not in LA.
Probably, actually. It's slightly less expensive.
This is better than San Diego.
Slightly colder, though.
Yes, true.
And so we had this word transfer in this part, and that is a verb, and that means to move from one place to another or to send from one place to another, because this part means to go across. And so when you transfer something, you're sending something from point A to point B. And we have our example sentence. Before he sat down, he transferred his wallet from his pants to his jacket pocket. It was in his pants. Probably if he sat on it, it wouldn't be so comfortable, so he transferred it to his jacket pocket.
True. People might transfer their cell phone from one pocket to another if they're sitting down. So there you go. George Fotheringay has got a lot of new amazing powers. He can perform miracles, but he's also trying to get control of this amazing new ability that he has. We'll see how he manages tomorrow when we come back with the second part of our story, and we'll hope to see you then. Bye!
Bye-bye!
隔天晚上 Fotheringay 找到一个安静的地方练习他的新能力。他命令他的拐杖开出漂亮的玫瑰花。不过他没有说 change back 变回去，而是说 go back 回去。结果他的拐杖就弹飞出去，打到一名警官的腿。警官当然很不高兴啦。Fotheringay 在试着跟对方讲理之后，他叫警官马上滚到地狱去，警官就消失了耶。睡前，他对自己冲动决定感到非常后悔，于是又把那位警官转到旧金山去。我们来看这个单字 ，bloom 是一个动词，表示开花、绽放。Mike 老师说的 bouquet B-O-U-Q-U-E-T 是指名词，花束、捧花。Launch 在这里是动词，用力的投掷、发射、发起或者是推出也可以哦。下一个单字 transfer 是一个动词，使转移或者是迁移、调动。 Sam 老师说的 teleport。T-E-L-E-P-O-R-T 是一个动词，这个字常常出现在科幻作品里，表示远距离的传送，用意念或者是特殊技能让某事物或某个人瞬间的移动。另外呢 ，Sam 老师也提到了 Fotheringay 对于把警官送去地狱感到后悔，这是一个预兆。Fotheringay 如果没有谨慎使用自己的新能力，可能会有大事情发生哦。老师说的 foreshadow 在这里是动词，是指预兆或者是预示。好啦，以上是今天的讲解，同学们别走开，马上回来哦。
George Fotheringay did not believe in miracles. While sipping his drink, he argued that it was impossible for the power of will to defy the course of nature. To prove his point to the other patrons of the Long Dragon Bar, he playfully commanded an oil lamp to perform the impossible feat of turning upside down without going out. But to everyone's surprise, including his own, it did just that. Everyone in the bar was certain that Fotheringay had played a trick on them, and they told him to leave. Fotheringay was unable to explain what had happened. When he got home, he experimented with his new power, creating a match from thin air and turning a glass of water pink and then green. The following evening, he found a quiet place where he could practice his miracles. He commanded his walking stick to bloom with beautiful roses. However, instead of saying,
"Change back,"
he said,
"Go back."
And the stick launched itself through the air, hitting the leg of a police officer. After trying to reason with the unhappy officer, Fotheringay said,
"Go to Hades, go now."
And the police officer disappeared. That night in bed, he regretted his impulsive decision and transferred the officer to San Francisco.
Stories Behind the Mountain is located on Nanbin Road in Ji'an Township, Hualien. It is a creative base to share technology, design, culture, and local industries. It showcases cultural and creative products that are unique to the eastern region of Taiwan. The first floor of the center displays hundreds of local products for sale. You can learn how to make your own handicrafts in the garage maker's space. The special exhibition area on the second floor changes themes every season to display the local culture. The stone exhibit on the third floor explains the evolution of Hualien stone industry. It also has the MIT Building Materials Museum. Here, you can learn about the innovations in Eastern Taiwan stone industry. When visiting Hualien, be sure to check out Stories Behind the Mountain.
See you next time!